Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Played with Meg and Mike. We just had a tribal council with the brand new Ulloo Tribe. These 7 players just went through the first vote on their new tribe, and unfortunately, it was Shareed who they decided to vote out.
Hi, Shareed. So sorry to have you here today.
No problem. No problem. Thank you.
Welcome to the chat. And so what do you think happened today?
So as I was mentioning that things have been super quiet, and in Survivor, because I watch Survivor all the time, right? So when things go quiet, you definitely have to be concerned. And obviously that was the case, right? I tried my best. I reached out to everyone on the former Kabbalah tribe. So it wasn't easy speaking to David, obviously, because of the time difference. I thought I had a good connection with Brian, but apparently not. And also with Paul, I spoke with him a little bit as well, but not as much as I did with Brian. And as well as I also thought that me and April were able to get a bit closer. But apparently maybe it was a little bit too late in the game. Because as I mentioned, I think it was in last video, I said I wouldn't give the opportunity to someone to burn me twice. And I gave them the opportunity to burn me twice, so she did it. Right? So I guess it's shame on me.
Well, that's how the saying goes. But I think that there's got to have been more to it this week. It seems like the idol probably played a factor as well, because it doesn't seem like it was just that people didn't trust you. It was that maybe they felt like their hands were tied a little bit. Is that what did you feel that today at all?
I don't. I don't, because if I had the idol, for example, right? I'm just one vote, right? So it wouldn't make any sense to think I'm any sort of threat by myself, right? Sasha and Ruth, we know that them two are 2, right? Those 2 are pairing. So that's why I'm like, okay, if I join up with them, I'm gonna be the 3rd string. If anything comes up, I'm gonna be the first to go out of them 3, right? Now with April, she doesn't have anyone herself. I know she has Graham, who also has relationships with these other Kabara tribe people, which I also have to be concerned about. Thinking that, Graham could be speaking to them, say, okay, save April, and we'll work together, right? So then now I have to figure out, okay, what play am I going to do? Am I going to stick with Sasha and Ruth, us 3? Because I knew April's not going to join with them, right? I tried. I spoke to April. I tried to get her over, but she just wasn't doing it. She was not doing it at all, right? Because to me, what the strategy I wanted to do, ideally, which would make the most sense, was to get rid of David. Me and April work together. Ruth and Sasha work together, and then there's the other 2 Kabara tribes. Now we have a 2-2-2 split, right? So now the power is shared throughout the tribe. Right, but now things are going to be very interesting to see. Obviously, people are going to start getting picked off now.
Right, and the game didn't play you any favors with this many trips to tribal council in a row. So I'm sure that the overall strategy that you were really looking to adopt in the game were kind of put on hold or put on the back burner because you were consistently having to vote somebody out.
Definitely, yeah.
When I was talking to you, so go ahead.
Yeah, so I was just saying, it was surprising because I thought I had some real genuine conversations, and I don't mind calling them out. Brian in particular, I thought we had a genuine, connection there, but I gave him my word, right? I swore to him, but maybe he was just too hung up with his original tribe, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know, because I generally when I gave him my word, I really am like, I was going to work with him from that point because I was coming in thinking, okay, I have to re-strategize. It's just me, and let me figure out how we're going to join some numbers, right?
If you got a do-over on this vote, what might you have done instead?
I would have voted for David. Yeah.
Still would have been in the minority, but it would have been kind of what you felt like you should do anyway.
At least I wouldn't have got burned again a second time.
Well, and we were speaking this afternoon, right, Shereen, and I was talking to both you and some other folks at the same time. And the funny thing is I can know what's happening, but I can't overtly influence it. But at the same time, as I was trying to talk to you about how important it was that they trusted you as much as you trusted them.
Yeah. And the thing is too, is because April was mentioning that she spoke to your mom, and she said that, I'm a super nice guy, which, thank you, April. I love you. You're she's a great lady, but she vouched for me, and I can tell you guys, honestly, people are saying, okay, yeah, they say they never lie and so on and so forth. Ian said a number of times before that he's reached out to people and they didn't message back to him. And I kept saying, well, no one's reaching out to me, right? And it's true. Ian hasn't talked to me, I think, last 3 weeks, right? To even look for my vote or to even ask me anything. So I can honestly say, and anyone can say to me in any video coming up that they caught me in a lie, by all means try it. Because even coming into this council, I messaged Ruth and Sasha and told them that I'm not voting with them.
Before you voted or after?
After I voted, I told them because of the immunity idol and me not knowing where it is. And because Ruth and Sasha, they never mentioned that they had anything. April said that she was dealing with dog puke, so she couldn't do it. Brian was caught up in I think a meeting, or he got to the second round but didn't get through. And I think Ruth and Sasha, I believe, made it to the second round. So I was assuming Ruth got it, and she didn't share that information with me, right? So that lack of trust, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but that lack of trust pushed me over to the other side. If she would have shared that she had the idol with me, if she does, I would have stuck with them.
Right. And my feeling, and it's very astute, and my feeling is that if there had been a few more days, maybe, that you guys would have built with because you're working on Paul and Brian and getting over to that side, and April as well. And I think, a few more days, if you guys hadn't lost this challenge, it probably would be a whole different story. But I think with such a small group, even in the best case scenarios, probably the people who voted you out still felt like there was still that risk that you might not be with them, or that they couldn't 100% know that for sure, and that they were pretty sure that the idol wouldn't be played for you. So you were like the safe decision, even though it's probably not the happy decision that they were hoping for.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like to me. Not that you were like the big target that they were super wanting to get out, but more that that there was paranoia about, like you said, about where the idol was with the other two. And that's a real shame, and that's typically what happens with these tribe swaps, right? Is that somebody early, as soon as the swap happens, kind of gets put in an unwinnable situation.
No, definitely. And as everyone
knows, see a real Survivor fan go.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it, Meg. No, I do love the game. The whole strategy and everything was a blast. That's my favorite part of the game. I was even I was mentioning to April the other day, she was saying that they love Risk, and I'm like, Risk is my all-time favorite board game. It's just that whole strategy. I love it, right? I'm sad it's ending, but it's going to be exciting seeing what happens moving forward.
Who do you want to win the game?
That's a tough question. You know what? Brian got me. I mean, I'm a little upset that he didn't trust me because I gave him my word for it. But because he got me, I give him that, and because he got me, I want him. I'm going for him to win.
And who do you want to see voted out first? I guess in the whole game, if you
Voted out
want.
next.
Yeah.
I would like to see our tribe start to rally a little bit and things start to shake up. So I'd like to see Kabara finally go to immunity, or sorry, to a tribal, and someone from that tribe.
That's a really fair answer.
What would you just overall, was there anything you would do differently, if you got the chance to play again?
Yes, I would have made sure and told Dave to double check his answer before he submitted it.
Yeah, that was just such a wild challenge to come down to that little thing, and then and you don't know Silas, but talking to Silas about getting voted out second on a fluke mistake by John, and now he's the one who got voted out. If the same kind of thing happened to you, right? You had this game that you were working on, and then somebody else kind of messed up the challenge for you.
Yeah, I really had a feeling it could have been me today, to be honest, and yesterday because of how quiet everything was. But again, I had a blast, and I appreciate all the time that you put into making everything work for us, Mike, and deal with all the personalities that you have to deal with. I'm sure it's definitely not fun on your end some days, but
himself. This is his choice. This is his hobby.
Yes, well, you'll definitely, if you have this again, I'll definitely put my name up. It was a blast.
Well, thanks, man. I just rushed into this one this season, but it's been a blast, and I'm so glad I did, because I just you're a perfect example of someone I'm so glad to reconnect with, and I know you probably know there's an Exile Island group chat that's been going on, so we'll get them. So you'll be invited to that right away. Awesome. By Jim or somebody or Wayne or someone like that. And then I know you said you have some people over tonight, but we're also doing a video chat with those guys at 8 tonight. So if for some reason you do feel like you want to join that, you can, but certainly everything's so fresh and you have people over, so you might not want to do that today, but we'll give you the option anyway.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Before you go, will you give us a recommendation for something that we should watch or listen to during the quarantine?
Yes. Well, I'm a big sports guy. I love the Jordan documentary on Netflix. I know that was mentioned before. Some guys that are into sports as well. It's an older documentary. It's called Magic versus Bird. It's Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. It's an awesome documentary. But especially with everything going on in the States right now, I think it's very important to watch a lot of movies, such as I'm watching right now with my kids. Selma is a great movie. Martin Luther King. It's about his life, as well as Malcolm X is another great one. But we need to really educate ourselves right now. I just actually saw the full video today of it, and it really almost brought me to tears. Just seeing it, and we really need to wake up as games. Everything's fine. Sorry to bring everything down, but I think this is a very important subject that we really everyone has to do something, and hopefully we can make a change.
I completely agree. Also, 13th on Netflix is really good. You were talking about Malcolm X. I just watched I was watching the Netflix series about that. Really good too.
Yes, that's a very good one.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for sharing that, Sarita. I find that looking at the news and watching what's going on right now in real time is so overwhelming, and also you don't know kind of what to trust and what sort of spin is being put on that, right? But there's so much art, music, film, documentaries that tell these stories so much better, and I think you're completely on point to suggest that there's so much out there, and everybody should take this time to learn and to see, to see through the eyes of people who have been through prejudice and all these challenges, because a lot of people like me who look like me haven't, and we can't really pretend to know everything or know what other people have gone through. So that's a great suggestion, and I challenge everybody to do that.
Awesome.
So thanks again, Shareed. Look forward to connecting with you on Exile Island and getting your insight on the rest of the game. Thanks again for playing.
It'll be fun. Thanks so much. And Meg, it was nice to see you every week as well, it feels like.
My pleasure. Thanks for letting me hang around.
No problem. Take care, guys.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Thanks, Meg.
Yeah, no problem. Will you send me the links for the other chats? And if I can come, I will.
Okay, sounds good.
Bye.